Well, welcome everybody to the online program for the alumni of the Sunshine Coast Health Center up here in Powell River, British Columbia. And we've been talking about this pilot project that we've been running at Sunshine Coast Health Center, maybe for 6 weeks or so. And we've begun the analysis of the data we've collected, and we're beginning to recognize certain themes or certain patterns in the data. And the data is all coming from the clients, right? So this is, we're not trying to prove anything. We're not trying to figure out how well anyone is doing in recovery or anything. We just want to know how they're making sense of addiction and recovery when they go through the treatment that we offer here. So last week, one of the themes that emerged, one of the patterns, was the concept that people in active addiction seem to lose a sense of who they are as a person. Now, another theme that's come out, and this is quite interesting, is that the data seem to be saying that when people are in active addiction, they have this feeling that of freedom, may be the easiest way of phrasing it. Let me help you understand what I mean by that. When we talk to a lot of people about why they use drugs, they will tell us fairly routinely, well, I had to escape. So the next question is, well, what are you escaping from? Well, it may be depression, maybe some problems in the family or in any kind of relationship, maybe problems at work, the wreckage of the past, as we call it, maybe financial. It could be any number of things. But it's a concept of, well, I'm escaping this clean and sober life because it brings up too many uncomfortable emotions. And as I said, that's fairly routine. But if we take that a step further and say to them, well, if you could get rid of all this clutter out of your mind, if you could get rid of these worries about the job or, the spouse or whoever else, if you could get rid of all that, what would that allow you to do? And routinely, the fellows here say, well, then I could be free. Some people phrase it as, I feel comfortable in my own skin. Or I can feel more like myself. Are pretty typical things that we hear all the time. So this is actually quite interesting, is that in active addiction, it's this idea that I can be free to be myself because I eliminate all this clutter that's going on in my mind. And for some clients, it's kind of interesting because the drug use becomes a way to, what we say, differentiate themselves from others. So for example, in the family, if they say they don't, and I'm just inventing this, they say they just don't fit in or anything, then this act of using drugs is almost a way of saying, hey, look, I'm different. This is me. And I'm not following any of those rules. So that's a little more minor point. But one of the biggest points is this idea of, if I can get rid of all this clutter out of my head, all this worry or this anxiety or this depression or whatever's going on for me, if I could just get rid of that, then now I feel free to be myself. Anyway, an interesting little thing. And again, we're not jumping to any conclusions. It's just a little pilot project. But these are interesting little things that, who knows, maybe they offer us some insight into the nature of addiction and, as we'll soon discover, into recovery.